Bowling lane strategy. All illustrations are purely examples and awareness information. These illustrations are not instructions. Instructions are reserved for a teacher-to-student session. Ball path targeting is presented. Some other methods are pin, spot, area, and breakpoint targeting. These illustrations are for right-handed bowlers. Left-handed bowlers should mirror this presentation. The items to be covered are key pins, ball phases, oil patterns, the pattern length minus 31 formula, and 2-point targeting. On the lanes, the exit point, rangefinders, arrows, strike, and spare zones. Ball path targeting will be used, and a touch of the mental game. Billiard balls have similar deflection as bowling pins. The key pins are the 4-pin, the 5-pin, and the 6-pin. If you hit those pins directly, the ball or key pin should take out its surrounding pins. On the left, if the 4-pin is directly hit by the bowling ball, all pins on the left side of the deck should be knocked down. On the right, the same action should happen when the 6-pin is hit. Now, if the ball is hitting directly to the 5-pin in a 4 to 6 degree angle, it is the strike pocket, and it has an excellent chance of knocking all the pins down. For this illustration, imagine the bowling ball as a tire. Imagine the tire spinning in an angle on ice. It will skid until it reaches a clear surface. When it reaches that surface, it gets traction and starts hooking into the direction it's spinning. As the tire grabs that surface, it goes into a roll, drives into its intended direction, and produces power. This is the same kind of action a bowling ball has while traveling down the lane. A long pattern is considered more than 42 feet. It usually forces the breakpoint inside the 12 board. The intermediate pattern allows most players to attack the pins in a variety of angles. Players have a better chance to score from the outside of the 9 board for shorter patterns. This is a typical house oil pattern. The red and blue areas are where the lane machine is applying oil on the lane in the forward direction. The light blue shows the buffing area where very little oil is applied. There is no oil applied on the lanes beyond the pattern length. When the lane machine does its return journey, it starts buffing at 40 feet and starts oiling, indicated by the green area at 33 to 6 feet from the foul line. The blue area indicates where the forward and reverse oils are combined. This is what the oil looks like at the floor level view. The red is the forward placement of oil, while the green indicates the return oil on top of the forward oil. This chart was published by USBC in Finding a Common Area at the end of the oil pattern by various styles of bowlers in producing a strike. Pattern length is where the lane machine stops oiling the lane. Kegel Training Center of Lake Wales, Florida discovered the PL-31 formula. They took the 5-degree figures and subtracted it from the pattern length, which revealed a common number of 31. By taking the pattern length and subtracting 31 from it, it would equal to the board number at that oil length to where you should be playing for a strike. This is the PL-31 formula. Let's see how it works. Let's use the typical house pattern of 40 feet for our example. The pattern length of 40 minus 31 equals to 9. Your ball should roll over the 9 board at 40 feet for a good chance to obtain a strike. The margin column tells you that you may have that margin of error between the 7.8 to 10.5 boards. That's about 3 boards. So if you could hit the 8, 9, or 10 boards at 40 feet, you will have a good chance for a strike. This formula can be used in figuring where to start competition in an unfamiliar center. By knowing the rangefinder location can help you locate the exit point without a ruler or a tape measure. The exit point is where the ball exits the oil pattern. There are 4 rangefinders 3 feet long on the lane. The first 2 are on the 15 boards at 34 feet, and the next 2 are on the 10 boards at 40 feet. Let's use our typical house pattern of 40 feet again. The PL-31 formula tells us that our target is on the 9 board at 40 feet. Let's locate it 1 board to the right and at the beginning of the second rangefinder. Another way to locate the exit point is to count the first 4 ball return cover planks, which are 10 feet long. The last 2 planks are different sizes due to pin counting scanner. The exit point can be estimated by the pin deck light reflection on the lane as viewed from your starting position. The reflection distance can be anywhere between 35 to 42 feet, depending on your height and standing location. In 2-point targeting, I use the rangefinders to locate the exit point. For illustration purposes, I will use the second arrow as our visual target. Visual targets are targets that can be actually seen, like arrows, dots, or the boards in between. Once the exit point is located, draw an imaginary ball path by walking your eyes to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. Then watch your ball follow the path back to the exit point and into the pins. There are 7 arrow targets on the lane. They are located 12 to 16 feet from the foul line on the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and 35 boards. You allow 2 balls per frame in a game. The first attempt is for a strike, and if you don't strike, you have a second chance for a spare. There should be at least 2 areas to play on the lane. Most high-level and professional bowlers use 2 zones, the strike and spare zones. The strike zone should be reserved for bowling strikes and multi-pin spare conversions. The spare zone is usually used for single-pin spares and possible split conversions. A straight spare ball should be used to eliminate an over or under reaction in the back ends of the lane. Longer patterns can use targets to the left of the third arrow as their starting point. These zones can vary depending on your ball angle or shape and will shift as more lane play occurs. The next 5 slides will show a 3D animation of oil on the lane. It shows oil before bowling, after 15 minutes of practice, after Game 1, Game 2, and Game 3. Please notice the wear in the strike and spare zones. This is a view of fresh oil from the pins to the foul line. After 15 minutes of practice, there is little wear at the top of the strike zone. After Game 1, oil starts to deplete in the strike zone. After Game 2, more depletion in the strike zone, and notice there are some wear from cross-lane spares. These junior bowls have been using the strike zone for almost everything, strikes and spares. It is recommended to avoid using the strike zone for single pin spares. This could minimize misleading tracks or grooves for your striking ball. This illustrates ball path targeting for strikes. This method trains your eyes from wandering. Get into your approach starting position. Locate that exit point. Slowly visualize an imaginary ball path to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. Let your eyes follow that ball back to the exit point. Then observe how the ball does its break point, how it hits the pins, and where it drops into the pit. Here's how to align for right side spares. Align yourself with a key 6 pin by standing on the 37th board. Look at your second target at the first rangefinder and visualize an imaginary ball path to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. If you hit both targets and the 6 pin, you are lined up for all right side spares. To pick up the 3 pin, stand 1 board to your right and deliver the same ball. To pick up the 10 pin, stand 1 board to your left of your 6 pin alignment and deliver the ball. Just find your alignment for the key 6 pin and keep it simple. 1 board moves with the same ball path. These alignment boards for standing and ball path targets are only examples. You must find and decide which boards and targets will work for you. You must consider your approach drift and slide landing location at the foul line. Align yourself with a key 6 pin and play the spare zone. After finding your starting position as described in the previous slide, look at the second target at your first rangefinder and visualize an imaginary ball path to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. Let your eyes follow the ball back to the target. Remain in your finished position and watch the ball hit the pin. Aligning for spares on the left side is similar for aligning for spares on the right. Aligning yourself for the key 4 pin by standing on the 28th board. Look at your second target at the first rangefinder and visualize an imaginary ball path to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. If you hit both targets and the 4 pin, you're lined up for all left side spares. To pick up the 2 pin, stand one board to your left and deliver the ball. To pick up the 7 pin, stand one board to the right of your 4 pin alignment and deliver the ball. Just find your alignment for the key 4 pin and keep it simple. One board moves with the same ball path. Again, these alignment boards for standing and ball path targets are only examples. You must find and decide which boards and targets will work for you. You must consider your approach drift and slide landing location at the foul line. Align for the key 4 pin and make one board moves. Get into your approach starting position. Look at the second target at the first rangefinder on the 15th board and visualize an imaginary ball path to the arrows. When your eyes reach the arrows, begin your delivery. Let your eyes follow the ball back to the target. Remain in your finished position and watch the ball hit the pin. Why is the spare zone extended to the 35th board? If you remember, at the beginning, we used billiard balls in place of bowling pins. Billiard balls represent angles needed to convert splits. To obtain the maximum ball to pin angle, you may have to deliver your ball from the extreme left to slide the pin to the right to convert that spare. By chance, you are striking in the game and have more than 6 consecutive strikes. Here are some items to consider. By the time you reach your 7th or 8th strike, there must have been something you have been keen on. Keep that in mind. Focus on what got you this far. Ignore comments from the audience. Repeat your delivery. Remember, the more frames you bowl, by human nature, the body will react to more speed. Control your speed. Focus on balance. The suggestions or hints for that 300 game should be taken in consideration for every ball rolled, in every frame, and in every game. In order to bowl a 200 game, you must have a clean game with a double. That's 2 consecutive strikes. Watch your ball all the way to the pits. It can tell you whether to move, change angles, change balls, or adjust hand positions. We covered oil movement, the playing area, PL-31, strike zone, and spare zone. Ball path targeting with eye movement for strikes and spares, and a touch of the mental game. The subjects presented are information for you to develop your game plan. There is no perfect way to bowl. You must decide on what works for you. Your body may be a major factor. Legs, arms, eyes. Some bowlers use a two-handed delivery, rails, ramps, a walking cane, wheelchairs, and so forth. Let the lane tell you where and how to play. Seek a coach who will help you build your game.